Good evening, everyone. I have the great pleasure in welcoming you to this piano recital by Anirudh Ganesh. Thank you all for spending your evening with us today. A few house rules before we begin. Please remember to silence your cell phones and refrain from movements during the pieces. If you need to step outside, please do so in between the pieces. Let us now welcome the artist of the evening, Anirudh Ganesh. We begin today's recital with one of Beethoven's most celebrated compositions, the Moonlight Sonata. Anirudh will be playing movements 1 and 3 of this piece. It is said that Beethoven composed this piece during his later years as his hearing had started to deteriorate. So the piece starts off dreamy and moves towards expressions of fury and frustration. The Moonlight Sonata by Ludwig van Beethoven. Anirudh just played for us the Deux Arabesques by Claude Debussy. The notes flowed playfully like a babbling stream, reflecting the composer's love for nature. We now move on to Fantaisie Impromptu by Frédéric Chopin. Interestingly, this piece was published in 1855, a whole 21 years after it was originally written. The composer was apparently reluctant to publish this piece due to its parallels to Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, our opening piece. Nevertheless, the Fantaisie Impromptu is a brilliant masterpiece with a unique charm of its own, an immortal favorite amongst artists and music lovers. Fantaisie Impromptu by Frédéric Chopin. That beautiful piece we just enjoyed is titled Premier Nausier, composed by the avant-garde composer Erik Satie. Couched in just a few phrases, yet so brilliant, the unconventional rhythmic patterns highlight Satie's experimental composing style. Anirudh will now play the Prélude from Suite Bergamasque by Claude Debussy. It is one of the most revered compositions by Debussy, an inspiration to poetry and other works of art. The prelude starts off bright and flows into a lilting melody, accentuated by changes of pitch, dynamics, and rhythm. Prélude from Suite Bergamasque by Claude Debussy. Longing, that is what we just heard, is a composition by the 20th century pianist George Winston. Ganesh, Anirudh's father, first heard this piece several years ago and took an instant liking to it. Anirudh was very excited to include it in today's recital. We now move on to the piece de resistance of today's recital, the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2, a composition of the renowned Franz Liszt. With its dramatic twists and turns and amazing rhythmic patterns, the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 is a magical piece with universal appeal. This is a very special piece to Anirudh. It is this very music that inspired 5-year-old Anirudh to want to play the piano when he first heard it on the Cat Concerto episode of Tom and Jerry. Driven by that inspiration, after 13 years of dedicated learning, here is Anirudh playing for us the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2, a piece that put him on this incredible musical journey. I would now like to introduce you to you all, Anirudh's teacher, Mr. Eduardo Rojas. Hailed by the Dallas Morning News as clearly a pianist with considerable skill and force of personality, Eduardo Rojas has appeared as a soloist with orchestras throughout South and North America. Noteworthy appearances include the Richmond Symphony, National Symphony Orchestra of Columbia, Bogota Philharmonic, Panama National Orchestra, Van Cliburn Foundation, Orpheus Chamber Singers, the Great Lakes Symphony, the American Wind Symphony, the Dallas Chamber Symphony, and in Ecuador, Bolivia, Peru, Chile, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Taiwan. In the summer of 2013, Eduardo Rojas recorded a live DVD at the famed New World Center in Miami Beach, Florida, featuring Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2. And in 2015, he released 2 albums, one of which showcases Mr. Rojas' own arrangements of Latin American music. In 2016, he was invited to Taipei, Taiwan, to give master classes and serve as a judge of the Asian Pacific International Piano Competition. Inspired by his vision of integrating his musical skills with his natural passion for teaching and entrepreneurship, Eduardo Rojas founded the Rojas School of Music in 2014, a private institution aimed at deepening the impact of artistic education in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Eduardo is committed to making a difference in his community by creating young orchestras throughout the Metroplex. He's recognized as an international Busendorf artist and one of only 120 Yamaha artists in the United States. This fall, he will be nominated for a Latin Grammy for his performance last year with the National Symphony of Columbia. I would now like to welcome Mr. Rojas on stage.
Thank you very much, and thank you for saying my last name correctly, Rojas. That's great. Well, first of all, it's really nice to see my school full of people again. This is the first recital, actually, with audience after 1 year and a half. So thank you, Anirudh, for being the first post-pandemic recital, which I would also like to, of course, say thanks to Anirudh, because this one was a very difficult recital, and you did very well. Congratulations. Very well. Let's. It is wonderful to see young people passionate about music, and of course passionate about classical music, and also I want to say thanks to his parents. Thank you. Really nothing when parents value music in their children's life. That actually makes a difference in many ways, because it's an investment that they will have all their life, and it is really important, the role of music education in their life. So thank you to your parents as well. And also, when I started to teach him, he was really a wonderful student, and he actually had fantastic basics and foundation, and that's thank you to Miss Lauren, which actually she's here too. This is also the fruit of your work, so thank you. And well, I wish you all the best. You are very talented, and I think all the discipline and all the commitment that you show through music, it'll be shown through your life as well. So good luck, and we will be always here anytime you would like to visit us, okay? Yeah. Thank you.
I just have a few words of thanks I'd like to talk about. First of all, thank you everyone for being out here today. I really enjoyed playing for everyone. And to start off, I'd like to thank my MC, Shukra, for coming here in such short notice. And I didn't even ask her for permission if she wanted to MC for me. I just I assumed she would be fine to MC because me and Shukra go a long way back, and we've actually collaborated on many covers together, and I'm sure we will collaborate on more covers for our Electric Keys channel in the future. Next, I'd like to thank Radianti for the organization of this thing and for helping prepare the MC script. I know it's a difficult job trying to get all the research for the individualized pieces and understand what the composers are going through during these pieces. So thank you so much for your support and being there during the rehearsals. I'd also like to thank Ram Uncle, Gayatri Auntie, and specifically Ranjana as well for helping with the food arrangements and making this afternoon, a few hours back, very festive. Of course, I'd also like to thank Balaji Uncle for camera and photography, Stephanie Rojas for the video camera, and Abraham, you actually cannot see right now, but he's working on the live stream that is going on. He's actually mixing a couple of cameras, and he's mixing the video for that, and he's capturing this for the live YouTube audience. Next, I'd like to thank people who were instrumental in my music journey. I'd like to start off with Miss Lauren Harder. I actually went with Miss Harder for around 7 years, and her and her husband Sergio used to try to prepare me for different competitions in the Dallas Metroplex. And I remember actually, I used to be motivated to practice because she would give an incentive. She would say, if you practice this number of hours, you will get a toy at the end of the week, right? So surprisingly, that actually worked on me, and I was practicing because of that. So thank you so much, Ms. Harder. And I would like to thank another person who isn't here tonight, Mr. Prabhu Shankar. He, around 6 to 7 years back, he was doing a performance at the Black Box Theater with the High Octaves Band, and he actually put the spotlight on me and said, this young boy will play with our band in a couple of years. And I did end up playing with them in a couple of years, and I've been playing with them all throughout high school, and we've had many memorable shows together. So thank you so much, Mr. Prabhu Shankar. And on that note, I'd also like to thank my light music guru, who's not here right now, I think. Oh, he is here, yes. Mr. Vasant. He has actually helped me with mixing, mastering, audio engineering, sound production, and in fact, me and Vasant were going to a performance. We were going to perform in front of like some 700 people in Kansas City, and he trusted me enough to take him along with me, and actually I was not playing it perfectly, so the night before he was staying up with me till like 1 o'clock in the morning and helping me prepare for the concert the next day, and it was actually a huge hit, so thank you so much. This is actually like only 10% of what he's actually done for me. I'm sure I can talk more about it in like a future concert or something we play together. Next, I'd also like to thank Karthik, who plays the keys. I'm sure he's watching right now, and Balu, who plays Indian percussion instruments. He's also part of the High Octaves Band. So thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed playing along with your band. I'd also like to thank Malti Auntie and Shatrupa, who are here on behalf of the Think India team. Around a couple of years back, they actually entrusted me with composing the background music score for a live musical, and it was actually 9 shows, so I had to compose the background score and play for it, and I'm really glad that you trusted me enough for that. It was definitely an experience of a lifetime, so thank you so much. Then I'd like to thank my teacher, Mr. Rojas, for helping. Like actually a few years back, I came to the studio and I asked, will you be able to teach me the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2? And he said, that's quite a difficult piece, but he helped me get me there. I mean, he worked with me on several pieces that you saw that were played today, and he helped me build strength in my fingers and helped me build my technique as well. And I'll definitely miss coming back to your studio for regular sessions. I'd also like to thank, I'd also like to thank my Kapil High School class of 2021 that is here with me today. Thank you so much for cheering me along and motivating me to perform today. And of course, the people who are watching the live stream currently, thank you for your support. Special mention to my grandparents who are in India right now. Early morning probably for them. They're watching it as well. And I'm pretty hungry, so I'm sure we can go eat. So thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening and have a great weekend. Thank you.